Hey guys, this is going to be a tutorial for the look I was wearing in my top 5 e.l.f. products video, using my top 5 e.l.f. products, so let's get started. First, I'm starting with the eyes. This is a smudge pot in the shade Ain't That Sweet, and I'm applying that to my brow bone and the inner corners. And the brush I'm using is a Real Techniques base shadow brush. It's my favorite to use with these smudge pots. Next, I'm going into the shade Back to Basics, and I'm applying that all over the rest of my lid. If you want a similar goldy bronze shade that's a little cooler, I recommend Cruisin' Chic. Next, I'm moving on to brownie points, and I'm using my other favorite Real Techniques brush to apply this. It's the shadow brush, and I'm just laying that down in my outer corner as well as my lower lash line on my outer corner, and I'm going to go back in with the original brush I was using to blend those two shades in. A few of you were asking how I apply these, and I prefer brushes because you don't have to get messy and yet you don't sacrifice the color payoff. Now on to liner. This is yet another smudge pot in the shade Ocean Bound, and I'm just applying an e.l.f. angled liner brush to create a subtle wing. Next, I'm moving on to mascara. This is Bare Minerals Lash Domination, one I've really been liking lately, and I'm applying a few coats of that to my top lashes. And next, on to the face. I'm using Benefit's Big Easy, currently testing that out right now, and I'm applying that with M Cosmetics Pointed Foundation Brush, just applying that all over. Then on to concealer, I'm using that same brush in the lightest shade in this concealer palette to apply to my under eye area, and then any excess I have I will apply to my chin and around my nose to cover any redness. And then I'm going in with a setting powder. This is Everyday Minerals Finishing Dust, and I'm applying that wherever I put my concealer. Next up is blush and contour. This is the contouring kit in St. Lucia, and I'm first going to contour. This is with an angled blush brush, and I'm just putting that in the hollows of my cheeks, my temples, and underneath my jawline. Next, I'm sure you could guess, I'm using that exact same brush and going into the blush in that same contour and blush kit, and I'm placing that just above where I placed my bronzer. Moving on to a little bit of glow, this is the e.l.f. Radiance Enhancer. Mine is in the shade Spotlight, which has kind of a pinky undertone. I'm dotting that on the tops of my cheekbones, along the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow, and I'm using my ring finger to pat and blend that out so it doesn't disturb any of the powders that I have laying underneath. On to lips. This is the Mineral Lipstick in the shade Party Pink, a universally flattering nudie pink shade that I just love from this line. Applying that all over the lips, and then I'm moving on to the Glossy Gloss. This is in the shade Party Pink, and I'm just layering that over top. Once that's done, the look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!